Alright, what is up guys? I am going to be doing an install tonight for the Acuity Instruments shift selector springs. From what I've read, it seems like a pretty straightforward install, and I've already done the bushing upgrade, so I'm going to take my battery out, move the intake piping, and hopefully I don't have to take the intake tray or the battery tray out, because I just don't want to jack the transmission up and do all that. But if I have to, I will, just because I have a cold air intake. But with the battery relocate, it kind of gets in the way when it comes to loosening some of the bolts and getting the actual shifter selector out of the car. So I'm going to start by doing that and check back in a few. So the tools you're going to need: a pair of channel locks to remove the shift selector cables, a hammer to get them back in, and 8mm hex socket to remove one of the bolts that hold the shift selector to the transmission, a couple screwdrivers to get my intake piping off, socket wrench, some sockets, and I'm pretty sure it's just an 8mm socket, but just in case I have my whole set with me. You're also going to want to get some HONDABOND, which I have in the car. It was in the car. Here it is. HONDABOND. Acuity has it on their instructions to use HONDABOND to, glue the transmission or the shifter selector back to the transmission, or to seal it and keep it on there. So definitely go the right way and follow the instructions. Alright, so here you see my intake, my battery relocated. What I am taking out is this right here, this shifter selector. There's basically an 8mm hex socket back in here, and then a couple 8mm bolts that are holding it down. The instructions are on the Acuity website. Basically, we just have to take this selector out, open it up, and change the springs. So that's what I'm going to work on now. First things first, I got to get the battery and the intake out and go from there. So the intake piping is out, as well as the battery. I think I'm gonna need to take the battery relocate tray out. Well, I may not have to. This is gonna make it so much easier if I do. So I guess I will prop up my transmission. And yeah, I'm gonna need to, because I gotta get rid of those pins that are holding in the transmission cables. So yeah, I'm gonna get the transmission supported and remove the 3 bolts that hold up the battery relocate tray. So I'm gonna do that now. Alright, so the battery relocate is out. Now it's a matter of getting to, and I hope my sockets will fit in there. It looks like a tight fit, but this bolt, again, I'm going off the instructions on the Acuity website. There's a bolt that didn't help. This bolt right here is an 8mm hex socket, like an Allen key, but it's easier if you have a socket set. So I'm going to loosen that one out, take it out, and then these 4 there, 8mm bolts are going to come out, and of course we got to take the little clips here out with the channel locks, and then free these shifter selector cables up, and that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so I got the linkages free. See those nice Acuity bushing upgrades, very lovely. This is just grot down here, it's all grimy and shit. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm actually gonna paint this just so it's a little bit nicer. But yeah, all the linkage bushings are out. I'm now gonna do the 8mm hex socket interlock bolt, which is down here, and then these 4 10mm. I said 8mm before, but they're actually 10mm. Break those free, and then I gotta unplug the solenoid back here that connects it all, and then I should be able to, with a pry bar, which I don't have, but I use a screwdriver or something, a flathead, to try to pry it up, and I'm gonna be very careful not to chip or scratch or break anything. So that's what I'm gonna work on now. The interlock bolt out, the 4 bolts holding the shifter selector to the transmission. I did get a screwdriver under here, and I was very careful, and I kind of pried up till it like just popped up off, and then now that it's loose, we can pull it out. Now the instructions said just pull up and out. You do have to like kind of rotate it a little bit, move the gear selector to kind of free it from the transmission, but once you do, just like that, it comes right out, and you can actually see the spring. Now you want to be a little careful because you don't want to drop anything in there into your transmission. You don't want to get any dirt or anything in there. Also, you want to be careful that you don't spill any transmission fluid on your car. I'll set that aside. Quick peek in there. I don't know if it looks bad or not. I do have a couple of issues shifting. I don't know if it's because the fluid's real low. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to see all the fluid in there. But I know I have a couple issues, so I'm actually upgrading my clutch real soon, so I'm going to be taking a look a little further in there to see if anything looks real bad. But so far, so good. So, sorry if the audio's off, guys. I don't have my mic for my camera. It's upstairs, and I'm just too lazy to go get it. Now, the instructions on the Acuity website say to carefully, and I emphasize the word carefully, remove this 12mm socket here on the shift selector. And keep everything aligned. Don't like change the rotation of it, just keep everything aligned and carefully pull it off. So right now I'm gonna attempt to carefully loosen this bolt without bending or breaking anything. Okay. Got it loose. So now we just I definitely recommend gloves for this, guys. It's a very messy job, at least it is for me. There's transmission fluid all over the place. I laid down some styrofoam on my little workstation here. Clean styrofoam just so I don't get any crap on the selector when I put it back in the car. Trying to use my hands as much as possible so I'm not putting too much stress on the metal in here. Don't want any shavings or anything like that. It looks like a washer just came out. Now just be careful, guys, because like me, this is all in like pieces now and it's coming apart, so I want to try to set it down gently and not mess with the orientation any more than I already have. And then after that, it seems pretty straightforward. Just carefully remove your preset springs. Now there's a washer in here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a washer in here. I'm going to keep that exactly where it is. Literally take the stock ones off. Open up my nice new Acuity. And then just as I took the stock ones or OEM ones off, I'm going to refit the new ones as such. Now, if all goes well, just need to realign all of this, put it back on. Just like that. Put my washer and nut back in. Recess the spring so that you can find the hole, pause, for the 12mm nut that goes in there, and then use my hand for now. Just keep it recessed or depressed, whatever you want to call it. Screw the 12mm back in. I'm doing it hand tight for now, just because I don't want to strip her. Alright, so got it all put back together. It's all tightened up. I wiped it down a little bit just to make sure there's no debris on there. Now with sorry the camera's different now. I'm using my phone again because my camera decided to be full and I'm out of space on that card, so I gotta go through and move some stuff around. But I'm gonna get a razor blade, clear up some of this HONDABOND. I guess it looks like they just want a nice bead around the seam here. If you can see that, so like right around the edges here, just to hold it in place. So I'm gonna get that cleaned up with a razor blade and get me some HONDABOND.